yards per play, fourth in EPA per play against the blitz. And that's why for Kansas City, it is of the utmost importance they find a way to get pressure with 4. Chris Jones has to have the game of his life. I'm telling you right now. And we've been talking all week about how bad the Chiefs are when they blitz, their inability to get pressure, the big plays that they're giving up. This Texans offense now is competent, better than competent at handling it, so they got to find a way to win those matchups on the inside. And like I said, it's Chris Jones is the one for me, because when he takes over, they've got a shot.
Yeah. And I think if you look at this team offensively, it started to transition right around the Denver Broncos game. And CJ went out. He was playing very well early.
Yeah.
And then Davis Mills didn't finish that game strong, but we started to see the protection get better, them have a better understanding of who the playmakers were on the outside. And now we're finally starting to see Nico Collins play like the #1 receiver he was early on last season. But we just talked all about the offense and totally just ignored the fact that their defense is full of freakazoids. Like their defense is like, like when Daniil Hunter walks through with his shirt off, and then Will Anderson comes by, and then Derek Stingley comes by, and then there's this crazy man at linebacker named Alshire that comes by. It's like all of you are special.
Alshire doesn't walk by. He's running through someone's chest.
Guys, I want to explain our picks here, because obviously I'm like the Texans
Hannah,
fan.
you went.
No.
You picked Kansas City?
No, you know why.
Oh my gosh, Hannah.
Mina, help me out. I took one for the team, because every time we all pick,
Maybe a dog.
one team, it means they lose.
You could also be right. It's the Kansas City Chiefs. It's Patrick Mahomes, and it got to have it.
For Cincinnati, T. Higgins has cleared concussion protocol and is a full go for Sunday against Buffalo. However, as for the Bills, they will be without defensive end Joey Bosa.
Oh, wow.
I know, right? And Terrell Bernard. Looks like Joshua Palmer will be
That team is
out.
been devastated by injuries this year.
Yeah, they really have. Meanwhile, first time since week 2, Joe Burrow is going to have both his receivers with him. He's 2-0, by the way, against the Bills. Bengals travel into Orchard Park on Sunday. Here's Burrow on that Buffalo defense, which, well, as we saw, did a number on the Steelers.
They're well coached. They make it difficult. Give you a lot of different look in the secondary. They try to make everything look the same. But they got good players that typically have been there for a while. Most of their guys have been in that scheme for several years now and understand the weaknesses and the strengths of it. Yeah, we've had success against them in the past. We haven't played them in several years. Every game is new.
Is there anybody more chill, RC? Do you think they can run the table and somehow miraculously make a postseason play?
You know what? I do not believe they can get in the postseason, but I believe that they will play as if they are trying to. This isn't a team that's trying to play spoiler. Joe Burrow believes that they can win every game they play as long as he is the quarterback. We saw defense play better, make some plays when needed. And so for them to go into Buffalo and win is something I truly believe they can do.
Yeah, they have the Ravens next, by the way. Seahawks are visiting the Falcons. Sam Darnold will face a young and hungry Falcons defensive line, and he weighed in on that challenge and what this game will demand.
They got really good talent. Just watching it on tape, like the speed and the power that they rush with. Like I said, it's going to be a really big challenge for us. I think step one is communication, like I said, and kind of rolling from there. Just after communicating, all being on the same page, and then being able to use obviously fundamentals and technique to get them blocked up.
And what Atlanta excels at defensively, what should Seattle's game plan be?
Well, they got to figure out the blitz because while they may have killed Minnesota last week, both Sam Darnold and I thought the Seahawks offensive line really struggled with some of Brian Flores' admittedly very exotic pressures. But Raheem Morris is going to do the same. He's going to heat him up. I think going forward, all defenses are going to try to do this. And I thought Sam at times, Stan, you can speak to this as well, looked either rattled by where the pressure was coming from or rushed in ways that he didn't earlier in the season. So that's something they've got to get resolved because I really do think they're going to continue to see it.
Yeah, right guard is a significant concern in Seattle right now, but equally for me with Sam Darnold is he's doing things that get him in trouble, and he's not getting in trouble with it because he's just catching the break. And that's he's been so good this year of listening to his feet, not holding on to the football, making sure that he was clicking through progressions. And over the past couple weeks, and specifically this past Sunday, it's reverting back to some of the things that were the demons of the past.
Yeah.
And he might get away with it against Minnesota, and he might get away with it against Atlanta. But this is a team that is a Super Bowl caliber team. Stop doing that stuff. That stuff. Because just because you don't get away, or just because it doesn't create bad stuff for you, doesn't mean it won't create bad stuff for you in the future.
You're going to punish him.
Or Santa won't
doing
bring
that.
you anything. You'll get
mad, I'm just disappointed.
Trouble.
coal in your stocking.
Yes. And welcome to my house.
It's time for AI-generated fantasy insights provided by IBM. This week, Bucks quarterback Baker Mayfield is on top of the Watson X Boom list, projected to have a high of 21.6 fantasy points against the Saints. Mayfield is also number 1 on the Watson X Sure Thing and Game Breaker list. Those are players with a stable decade. They're tied with the Jaguars. The winner of this game in Jacksonville will hold the top spot in the AFC South. Now, per ESPN Analytics, the Colts would have a 61% chance to win the division with a win. Jacksonville, a 64%. Both fall to just 19% chance with a loss. All of that makes sense with identical records. How much does this Colts game plan on Sunday hinge on Jonathan Taylor, RC?
I think it starts and ends with Jonathan Taylor. When you look at the success of this team early on in the season, it was incumbent on Jonathan Taylor being able to create explosive plays, put the football in the end zone, and then Daniel Jones in that passing game being able to evolve off of what Jonathan Taylor was doing. When you look at the losses that we've seen down the stretch of this season, whether it's Pittsburgh, Kansas City, the Houston Texans, they were able to stifle Jonathan Taylor and then put pressure on Daniel Jones, especially in important situations. And so if I'm Shane Steichen, I'm thinking that Jonathan Taylor is my priority. And then defensively, Jonathan Jones. I mean, he plays corner. So it's like Daniel and Jonathan. And then also, too, if you're the Jacksonville Jaguars, you're going to be focused on stopping him, especially early on in that game.
Yeah, knowing that Daniel Jones, his mobility is affected by that fibula injury. How's this Jags defense going to disrupt the Colts?
Cut split pressures. What I mean by that is cut splits are when the receiver comes closer to those offensive tackles or tight ends. Indy loves to do it. And the Jaguars like to pressure out of it. I think this is something that we've seen a little bit throughout the NFL for offenses that just love to reduce the split of these wide receivers, and teams just realizing not going to happen. The fire zone pressures that they dial up out of it, it's not just going to be about Indy and Daniel Jones seeing it. It's got to be about the back seeing it, the tight end seeing it, because you're going to get these rotations, and at the snap, things change real quickly. It's going to be really important for Indianapolis. It's something Jacksonville loves to do. Indianapolis, because they love to get their formations that way. Everyone's got to be paying attention to that stuff, because I see it across the NFL. Too many teams are getting into those splits, pressure comes, and then the offense has no idea that it's happening.
It's also, though, they use vision to break as well, though. They're not putting their corners and DBs in all these man situations. They have eyes on the quarterback.
Yeah, the fire zones, Dan, have been really effective 100%. Over the last few weeks. It's how they beat Arizona. If you remember, they had a full-on blitz, and then on that final drive, they sent a simulated pressure and dropped the defensive tackle. Jacoby Brissett holds on to the football, gets sacked. Quietly, the Jags pass rush has been coming on just generally. Since week 8, their 5th league-wide in pass rush win. In that time frame, Josh Hines-Allen, who I don't think we've ever, barely talked about, leads the NFL in pressures. He went absolutely crazy on Tennessee. And that's a big problem for a Colts offensive line that has been struggling a bit to protect Daniel Jones. And Jones, the quarterback, who has struggled when he's been pressured. And obviously the injury adds to that because it limits some of the playbook, not just in terms of his escapability, but you're taking out all of those bootlegs, some of the RPOs. So I think for Indianapolis, to go back to the original point from Ryan, you got to run the ball effectively in this one, because if the Jags are able to turn this into a drop-back game on 3rd down, I like their chances based on how they've been getting after the quarterback.
All right, as we take a look at our picks, we are split. The guys are going with the Jags. Mina and I are going with the Colts. Mina, why are we right?
Well, I believe in Jonathan Taylor, and I also just don't know what to expect every week from this Jags offense. Trevor Lawrence is like the most cool quarterback in football.
Yeah, I'm not sold
so I
on
think
the
Lou and
Jags.
Romo will have a good game plan for him.
Put on the seatbelt.
It 100% depends on what game you turn on and what quarter.
Yes,
Or what throw. That throw was sweet.
Yeah, or what country they're playing in.
Play.
I know, it's crazy. All right, time now for the play sheet.